We have all been in the situation in Escape from Tarkov where we've had to go up against an entire squad by ourselves, whether that's because you play solo and that's how you prefer to play, or if you play with friends and the rest of your squad is dead and now you have to face this squad alone. In this teaching tactics video, we are going to go over the absolute most important thing to know and do when fighting a squad by yourself. I'm Jessekazam. Welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. If you like this video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel. That stuff helps me out way more than you think, so thank you to those that do that. And I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. So like we said, solo versus squad, that can be rough, whether the rest of your squad is dead, like in this situation, or because you just play solo. But at the end of the day, the most important thing to do when you're fighting a squad, especially if you have any sort of distance, is to keep moving and repositioning. And I've been saying this for years, and this was just a great fight, a great kind of situation that showed this off. So that's kind of where we are here. The setup is we've got the RSAS, we're on customs. I was rolling with some buddies and we were just kind of memeing around and both of them died. So you'll hear them talking, but both of them died. I actually don't know how many there are here. So I know you can make an argument that if you play with other people, it's still easier than solo because even if they're dead, they're giving you information. I do have a little bit of information here, but I actually didn't realize how many there were. And this is still a really good situation on how movement can really give you the upper hand when you're outnumbered. So we'll watch this clip back in its entirety. It's a bit of a long one, so I'll cut out some of the boring chunks, and then we'll go back and talk through my thought process and what I was thinking there. So let's take a look at the clip.
7 and 3-1, by the way.
The guy was 995. Nice. Just killed Blackjack Gamer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, that guy was facing the other way, running away, and I tapped sprint, and he turned when I was
Really?
yeah. I was literally holding it, and then for a split second. Nice call, dude.
Did you kill the other one too?
Got someone up top.
Yeah, Inspector boy.
What a gamer.
Finally pulling his weight.
Mother redemption. Oh, there's another one. I heard the steps down below.
Nice job, bud.
Didn't expect me to be there. So that, like we said, it's a bit of a longer fight, but you can see how I was able to shoot, move, shoot, move, shoot, move. And the constant repositioning really helped me put myself in a position where the enemy wasn't super sure where I was. Moving around, repositioning gives you the opportunity to potentially split a squad into individual targets as opposed to multiple targets. And it gives you the opportunity to take shots at people when their backs are turned to you or when they don't know where you are. And that's always a great feeling. So the fight starts off. I know that my buddy died and I heard this guy shooting. So I know he's close. I know this guy's Fortress. That was why we were over here anyway, because we were hearing shots over here in Fortress. So I'm trying to be careful. I'm trying to use some of my land cover. I see this guy. To be honest with you, I should have ADS'd here. I was just worried that maybe he knew where I was, and I think I pushed my shots. I rushed them. I should have ADS'd on this guy, but we point fired. We hit him a few times, as you can see. His back was turned once again. Perfect opportunity to just ADS on him and eliminate him. But we hit him a few times, and then right here, it's really subtle, but you see, I see his knee. I see him crouch right there. So he can't see me yet. So at this point, I get out of my sprint so that I can lift my gun, and so I can basically just start shooting as soon as I'm moving around this corner. Boom. I probably got a little peeker's advantage there. That was an aggressive play. I was given the information that this guy was crouched and waiting because I heard him, and I was able to just kind of boom, boom, drop him really quickly. We are using a really loud RSAS, an unnecessarily loud RSAS that I pulled off somebody else. So that really informs how I'm thinking on it's probably not a good idea to hang around too long after I've been in one spot because I'm drawing a lot of attention. It's a really loud gun. So instead of just sitting here and waiting, I want to back off and see if I can get an off angle on these guys, a completely different angle. I know that there's still someone Fortress. I don't know how many. We end up learning that there were two more there. I wasn't sure about that. And so I wanted to go kind of wide. You see me, I keep pushing wider and wider and wider. I don't want to give myself away. I want to give as much hard cover between me and the Fortress as possible. Now, props to this guy. This was a nice flank. There's not a whole lot of wide open areas where I'm exposing myself to Fortress. And then I even try and thread a crazy shot through this. And he still spots me and gets a shot off on me. Luckily, I've got M61, and whatever he had was not M61 because I've got a kill armor on that was already a little hurt, and he damages my chest, but I've got M61, and I just get him right to the dome. So props to that guy for spotting the movement, but I was able to kind of move around and get a flank and position enough hard cover between him and me. I don't know how early he noticed my flank, but because I flanked the way I did, I didn't give him a bunch of free shots on me before I was able to set up. If I had gone straight here, to the right or straight here, that puts a lot less hard cover between him and me. And if he spotted me earlier, he could have started shooting at me when I was running and then actually flipped it, and I would have had to react then. But I get to put all this hard cover between. This is really the only time I'm super exposed. And then I use the forklift here, so there's just not a whole lot of me exposed. So props to him for catching the flank and hitting his shot, but there wasn't enough of me exposed. Whatever ammo he had wasn't able to hit me in one shot, and I've got M61, so we got him to the dome. So we end up moving up. At this point, I kind of think that that's everybody until I move up here, and as I move up to the top, I see a guy moving in these stairs, and this is really learning map knowledge and learning where you can look. You can peek the stairs here, and this guy is about to come up. Boom, right here. So he's rocking up the stairs. He heard that loud RSAS, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. His buddy probably called that I was beneath Skeleton, and I see this guy, and I think, okay, well, he is moving around, and my thought is I want to see if I can get an easy kill on him. I'm not exactly where his buddy said I was going to be, but I am still near that area. So we kind of wait a little bit. We see him moving around here. It looks like he's checking exactly where I was. And this is really the core of what this video is about. You would be surprised at how long and how frequently people, even high tier people, even veterans of the game, will be very hyper tunnel visioned on their last known location of you. So I was right below Skeleton, which is what I'm on right now when I killed his buddy. I'm in a pretty exposed spot. Like I'm where I'm in the spot I'm in right now, I check all the time when I'm in his position. But he keeps peeking it and peeking it and peeking it, and he's not checking. He doesn't shoot at me one time. He ends up peeking it again and just kind of moving away. Now, I'd kind of whiffed my shot here. I really wanted to clean this up, and I whiffed the shot. It was too late. Both of my shots were late. But instead of sitting here and waiting and then letting him react to those shots and now peek knowing exactly where I am, my assumption is that if I move, he'll think that I'm still on skeleton, and he'll think that for probably a long time. So we move to this flank. Now, this is kind of a ballsy flank, which is why I took it slow. There's a lot of different angles from Fortress that he could shoot me from on this flank, but my assumption is he's going to hang out. He's going to think I'm on skeleton. And you see me being very cautious. I'm constantly turning around. I'm constantly checking all the staircases and all the things up top. I don't know if he's going to be making a counter flank and he's going to be running out the back. But until I see other information, I'm kind of assuming that he's going to be holding up there and he wants to drop me at skeleton because his buddy's loot is up there. There's a few other bodies. There's my buddy's loot that's up there. There's a lot of loot laying around. I don't think he's going to leave the area. So we go for the wide flank. And the thought is that my hope here is to get behind him without him knowing. I'm not really exactly sure what all my angles are. The last known I saw him up top, and I'm trying to get an angle up top, but I'm starting to realize that I can't quite get that high. And you can see here after watching the clip back that he's right here. I'm focused up top. That was my last known location for him. More props to this guy for trying to get off angles on me. Like, this is a great place to get an angle on somebody at skeleton. This is a great place because I'm going to be looking down at the floor and I'm going to be looking up here. I really wasn't expecting him there. That was a great position if I was still on skeleton. I noticed this guy's here right as he's moving away. He goes for a reposition, but he doesn't even realize he's running directly at me. He ended up having a slick, but 1, 2, 3 M61 shots, and you're done. So this was a really fun fight. This was a really cool example of everything that we had been talking about. And this has been my advice to solo players or for people finding yourselves in this situation forever. It's do your best to separate it. If you're going up against a 3-man, do your best to make it a 1v1 and then another 1v1 and then another 1v1. Just running in guns blazing makes for really cool clips when you drop the 3-man, but your survival rate in those situations is going to be lower. So giving yourself the opportunity, I got lucky that this one guy was already split, but giving yourself the opportunity to just pick off one person at a time. When a squad of people don't know where you are, they will so often tunnel vision on your last known location, and then maybe one of them might split off and try to check the flank, or one of them, and that's when you can start picking them off one by one by one. Using really loud weapons oftentimes makes me more aware of my positioning and more aware of the fact that my enemy probably knows where I am, so I need to move. So this was an interesting situation where I've got one of the loudest guns in the game, but I'm still able to take on a 1v3 because I'm repositioning, because it forces me to move, and because I've got a pretty decent knowledge of this area and of the flanks and of the angles that I can be checking and the angles that they can be checking. So I hope that this helped. I hope that this is a good resource for people, whether you play solo or whether you just are in a squad and your friends die. Soloing larger teams is just like a core principle of Tarkov. That's going to happen often. And anytime you can give yourself any edge, it's a good idea. And oftentimes these fights happen quickly and fast, and we forget that we can just back off and extend these fights out. And as long as you're confident, oftentimes extending these fights out can stress out the team, and that's when they start to make mistakes. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully you can watch this back, watch your own gameplay back, and then implement some of these principles and start dropping some squads in Escape from Tarkov. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to check out this video. If you liked the video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Like we said before, I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. And if you're looking for people to play Tarkov with, our Discord community is an awesome place to be. Check that link down below as well. Thank you again for stopping by, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.